humans, it's just Martine, and today we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I don't think I've ever done this tag before, so, you know, we're just gonna see how it goes. And I'm also a little late on this, and some of my responses are books that I read in July. So, like, does it count? I'm gonna say it counts because it says, like, so far in the year. And here I am. It's around mid-year, and these are about my answers, so let's get straight into it. Number one, the people want to know what's the best book I've read so far in 2023. I sat and thought about this for a few minutes, but I think what I have to go with is Answers in the Pages by David Levithan, which is a book about banning books. It's this middle grade that I read during Wonderathon that made me feel all the feelings. We follow 3 separate timelines, but the basic gist is about book banning, and I'm positive this book has been banned some places and will continue to be banned others because powerful art gets banned. That's just the truth of the matter. So, loved that book. I highly recommend it. Second, what's the best sequel that I've read so far in 2023? And that is one of the books that I was like, does it count to include this? Because I just technically finished it last week, but on the other hand, it is absolutely the best sequel I've read all year. So I'm gonna have to go with it, and that is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Not all the Shadowhunters books hit for me, but this book hit, and this book hit hard. Actually, I'm like positive that you're seeing this video before I finish reading this book in a vlog. So spoiler alert, 5 stars. A part of my soul died with this book. Okay. It is maybe not the best book that I read this year, but it is by far and away the best sequel I read. So there you have it. Number 3, a new release that I haven't read yet, but want to. This one was hard for me because I honestly don't pay attention to new releases at all. But then when I was doing some Googling, I remembered that Love Theoretically came out and that I have a hold on it. So hopefully I'll be reading it in the next few weeks, but I have not read it yet. I don't think Ali Hazelwood has written a 5-star book for me. I could be wrong. But they're always pretty up there in terms of ratings, and I always have a swell time when reading them. So I'm excited for Love Theoretically. Number 4, my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and this is 10 Things That Never Happened by Alexis Hall. Cause new Alexis Hall book, that's all I need to say. I also probably won't be lucky enough to read this book this year. It comes out in October. I've applied for an ARC. They have not approved my request, but they haven't denied it. So there is hope still. I think it's in the same world as Boyfriend Material and Husband Material were, but it's Alexis Hall, and really that's all I need to anticipate a book highly. And it has a fake amnesia trope. I'll be there for it. Number 5, my biggest disappointment. I actually cannot tell you my biggest disappointment for the year so far because it's a book for the 12 TBRs of Christmas. And when you see that video, you'll understand why it was such a big disappointment. But I'll give you 2 books that like disappointed me as well, just not as much as that secret book did. So the first is You Never Forget Your First by Alexis Coe, which is a biography of George Washington. You would think, why would you have high hopes for this? But because it's the first like major biography of George Washington written by a woman, I was anticipating it, and it just didn't live up to what I wanted it to be, and that's fine. And then I also, so sorry Ruby, have to put The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin under most disappointing, because I just did not have the blast and a half that I thought I would have reading that book. I did have a good time making the vlog for it. I don't know, not a new favorite book, and that was very disappointing because I'd been putting off making that vlog for a really long time, so then to not absolutely love the book just hit me. It wasn't even like a bad book. I just wanted so much more from it. My biggest surprise has to be a graphic novel because I am not a graphic novel girly. She says when Heartstopper is like half of her personality. That's okay, that's okay. The Backstagers Volume 1 and 2, I read them during Wonderathon. I read a lot of these books during Wonderathon. I had a great Wonderathon, what can I say? They just knocked me off my feet because they're fantastical, so I didn't expect to like them, and they're graphic novels, so I didn't expect to like them, but I gave them a shot because they were theater kid vibes, because it's about the group of kids who work backstage at their high school. So I gave them a shot because I have experience doing that and fond memories of that, and then it knocked it out of the park. It knocked it out of the park. I loved the art style, I loved the world, I loved the characters. I had a great time with it. Number 7, my new favorite author. Okay, for this one, I'm going to say Olivia Blake. That's not her real name, that's her author name. She's most famously known for the Atlas 6 and that whole series, which is how I started reading her. That was the first book I read by her, gave that 5 stars. Didn't love the sequel as much, but I'm still highly anticipating the 3rd book. Is that coming out this year? The point is, that series is good, but then I read her YA contemporary romance, My Mechanical Romance, on the recommendation of a friend. It's written under her name instead of her pen name. I had a fantastic time with it. I really liked the vibes of that book. So 3 books that I enjoyed pretty well by her. I'd say she's smashing it out of the park as far as a new author to me this year. Number 8, newest fictional crush. Okay, so a lot of people have agreed that they don't really get fictional crushes, and I kind of do, but sometimes it's just a friend crush, right? Sometimes I just have the biggest friend crush on a character, and that is the case with the Merry Thieves from the Last Hours trilogy. So again, bringing back Chain of Iron, so like Matthew Fairchild and James Herondale and Christopher and Thomas, that's it. And Cordelia and Lucy, I would say that they count as the Merry Thieves. I love that group of characters so much. I don't think I would be in love with any of those characters for various reasons, but from a friend perspective, I would very much have a platonic, deep and powerful love for those characters. So I'm going to say the Merry Thieves win on this count. Number 9, my newest favorite character. You're going to be like, are you about to talk about the Merry Thieves again? And I'm actually going to say no, because I have other fantastic characters that I want to talk to you about. So I have 3 here for you. The first is Bug from Too Bright to See by Kyle Lukoff. This is a middle grade paranormal book, and Bug was just such a delightful narrator and has my entire heart. So we have to put Bug on this list. And then bringing back the Backstagers, my favorite character in that series was Sasha. I love Sasha so much. Sasha is hilarious, adorable, meme-worthy, all of the above. So had to make it on my list of favorite characters from this year so far. And then Rambo from In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune sits up there too. I loved Rambo so much. In general, I liked a lot of the characters from In the Lives of Puppets, but Rambo, I think, was my favorite. Rambo is a little Roomba robot, and I love him. He's hysterical. Yeah, those are my favorite characters from this year so far. Number 10, a book that made you cry. I actually can't remember a single book making me cry so far this year. Watch me have a vlog where I'm sobbing over a book from this year, but I don't think it's happened. I cried over a couple books last year, but I don't think it's happened so far this year. I've just felt very emotional things with books. It takes a lot or just the wrong type of moment to make me cry in books. Instead, I'm going to give you some books that really hurt me inside, like Owie. It was an Owie moment. My heart hurt. And typically that's when I feel like people would cry in a book, but I did not cry. I just hurt. So it's the 2nd and 3rd book in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series by Jenny Han. So P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. Both those books hurted. They hurted. And then actually a nonfiction for you, Bittersweet by Susan Cain. I think you can tell from the title why it's it makes my heart hurt, because it's bittersweet. It's all about how bittersweetness is so powerful and good and all those things, and I loved it so much, but it made me feel things because I was feeling incredibly bittersweet at the time that I read it, because I was moving back to school and away from my family after winter break. That one got me. And then Answers in the Pages had a couple of scenes that really hurt me deeply. So I'm just bringing that one back around for you. Flamer was a graphic novel that I read during Wonderthon by Mike Corrado. That had moments that really hurt too. Owie, and then finally Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'll throw in a popular book in this list. Yeah, Happy Place by Emily Henry hurt. It's a second chance romance. It was built to hurt you, you know? So it did. It hurt me. Are you happy now? Okay. Speaking of happy, number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I'm going to say Otter by Catherine Applegate. This is not an entirely happy book, but the thing in general made me very happy because in it we're following an otter named Otter as they go back into a sanctuary after getting hurt. This was a sanctuary where they grew up, and they're returning there after some time in the ocean, and it was just so wonderful. I loved it. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought or had given to you. And I don't have it here with me, but for some reason the cover for Bluebird, which I picked up at a secondhand bookshop, really gets me. I think it's the shade of blue that it is, and the simplicity of it. I don't know. It's a sci-fi book, and I'm really excited to read it. clearly not excited enough to bring it all the way down here. I just have so many books I'm excited for, so it's only fair some of them didn't make the cut. But yeah, I think that cover is beautiful. And then lastly, what are some books that you need to read by the end of the year? I have 33 books left to read for the 12 TBRs of Christmas, so I have to read all of those. I'll be really sneaky and just whoop, you just saw a list, okay? Those are the 33 books I have left to read. Some of them are huge, some of them are short, and so I also can't read them right now because I'm focused on big books. But yeah, 33 of them, and that wouldn't seem like a big deal, but that's not all the books that I'm going to read for the rest of the year, and I'm a little stressed about it, but I'm having a good time. So that's the end of this tag. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Did you do the mid-year book freakout tag? And what has been your favorite book of the year so far? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!